As I'm going, if you guys have questions, please put them in the chat and I'll go through those at the end. I want to make sure that this is super thorough and that you understand everything about the new comp plan and about the new charting changes made. This new system that we have is absolutely incredible. As if our company wasn't already amazing enough, this new charting system is seriously just such a game changer and just puts us ahead of everyone else in the industry. We already had the best comp plan, and what's so crazy, you guys, is a lot of companies, as time goes on, they take away from their comp plan. Our company has only ever added to the comp plan, and that's what they just did this past weekend too. So I want to make sure you understand it, because when you understand how much money is like on the table for you and your earning potential with the company, that's when you can really raise your belief and get started just on an incredible level and just go fast. So I want to make sure that everyone on here just understands exactly what this means for you. So I'm going to get started screen sharing on my iPad. Give me 1 second. Some of you that were on early saw me testing it to make sure it worked. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure everybody's muted too. If you're not muted, if you can mute yourself, I would appreciate it, because now that I'm screen sharing, it took away my mute option. So, okay, let me move this, and then you guys should be able to see my iPad. So I'm going to go through the new comp plan really briefly, and then I'm going to show you guys like the actual charts. And then again, if you have questions as I'm going, just please put them in the chat so we can make sure we get those answered. Okay. So much of our comp plan is still the same. I'm not going to go through all of the beginning stuff in too much detail, because this is covered on our comp plan Zoom we did a couple months ago before the changes were made. But basically this just goes over what a retail customer is, what a loyal customer is, and then obviously a distributor. I'll touch on this briefly since we have some new people. A retail customer orders something from you one time. They do not get a discount. There's no commitment behind it. It's just a one-time purchase. And then a loyal customer is someone who gets 40% off their purchase by agreeing to try something 3 times. So they can get something from you today at 40% off, and then they're agreeing to try something also in March and April at 40% off. They can mix and match. They can get anything we have. But that's what it needs to be a loyal customer, and that is what all of our customers are for the most part. I've only ever had like 1 retail customer my whole 2.5 years in the business. And that's just incredible because we get paid over and over and over again for the work we do one time. Okay, the next thing is just what it means to be commission qualified. This is the same as it's always been. You either run your 80 BB auto shipment or you have at least 150 PBV. That is a makeup of your personal orders and your customers that you have kept underneath you. That is what your PBV is. I never ever recommend someone to chance it and use the 150 to be commission qualified. You always want to run your 80 BB auto shipment. From day one, Zach and I have both run one, and guys, believe me when I say when we got started, we had nothing. We were putting gas and groceries on a credit card, but I knew that I saw top leaders talking about how important it was to run your 80 BB auto shipment, and that was paycheck insurance. And so I was like, okay, I'm in. So I encourage you, if you're new and you're like, okay, money's tight, what should I do? Get something that you can justify as a part of your grocery budget. I love telling people to get like greens and shake. That's 80 BB right there. You can use that as a meal replacement. And so boom, that's actually going to save you on your grocery budget because you're replacing lunch with that. You can do the same, coffee and greens. You can do that with so many different things. That's just it for you. BV is just it works dollar amount. All that is just what we get paid off of. Excuse me. So for example, like cleanse is $36. It's also 36 BV. Our commission is off the BV. So you always want to pay attention to the BV over the dollar amount when you're looking at stuff in your eSuite. PCV and PBV. Okay, so this is new. PCV is the sum of your customers that you have kept underneath you. So you're going to see that now calculating in your eSuite. That's what that is. It does not count auto shipments. It does not count your personal orders. It's just your personal customers. This is really not relevant for anyone except if you're going for diamond. So if you're not going for diamond or above, this doesn't really apply to you at this present time. If you're going for diamond or above, you're going to want to listen to the voice message that I sent to the diamond and above chat this morning. And I did explain what this means for you with promoting. Okay, PBV, we went over this before, but this is just the sum of your personal bonus volume. So your customers, your personal orders, and any auto shipments you ran, that is your PBV. Group volume, this is everything underneath you. So this is literally everything in your entire organization. And this is what you are looking at most of the time. Okay, going forward, I'm going to skip through this because this isn't anything new. I'm going to get back to, I'll briefly touch on what it means to be fast start qualified. Fast start qualification has not changed. That's just anytime you sign a distributor, when they get their first 2 customers and have an 80 BB auto shipment set up, or get their first 2 customers and then their total at 150 PBB, you get them fast start qualified. That is a $100 bonus for you if that is in their first 30 days. And these are unlimited, of course, so fast start bonuses are seriously life. You can get so many fast start bonuses while you're building those early days of your business. So it's just such a huge extra part of our comp plan. And that is just such an amazing thing because we're paid to help people get off to a strong start, which I love. Okay, I do want to touch on this really quick on compression because this is something I feel like I've been getting asked a lot about lately. But the great thing about our comp plan is that whenever it's like, you guys ask me all the time, what happens if, I sign somebody and then, oh, that's so weird. Why is it showing? This happened on the Zoom earlier today. Someone's writing on the thing. Oh, well. But anyways, if you sign somebody up and they stop working and you've put volume under them, if they are not commission qualified, that volume is just going to compress right up to you. As if it was right under you. So it doesn't count as your PBB, but you do get paid on it as if it was right under you. So that's why you can, I always tell people if you're, placing volume under someone and they do end up quitting, it's not something that you need to be stressed about because we do have compression in our comp plan, which is incredible. Okay. The next thing, let's see, qualified leg. This is something we're going to talk about a lot here in a second. But a qualified leg is any leg under you that is at 400 in group volume or higher. And you're going to hear me mention this a lot, so remember that. Okay, so here's the good stuff, what you guys have been waiting for. These are all the changes to the comp plan. So as you'll see, executive is still a rank, but it's not something you're going to see on the charts anymore. But executive is still the same. You have 2 qualified legs, so that means 2 people on your team that are over 400 in volume. That is what it means to be executive. Ruby has changed. This is where you're going to see all the changes start reflecting on the comp plan is Ruby and above. So to go Ruby, you now only need 3 qualified legs and then a cumulative 2,000 GV that can come from anywhere. Doesn't have to be balanced. You just need everyone at 400 and then you need a total of 2,000. So obviously everyone being at 400, that would only be 1,200 plus your auto shipment that you're going to be running. So that's 1,280 would be the minimum, but you need 2,000 to promote to Ruby. So that can come from anywhere. That can be more volume that was under you. That can be more volume under any of those distributors. Their auto shipments count to that amount. Everything on your entire chart, like we talked about, GV is everything, counts. And so you need 2,000 and just 3 qualified legs to go Ruby. So this is absolutely incredible. You don't need that executive leg anymore. It's so simple. You guys are going to be going Ruby in like a couple days. I can already feel it. So then going forward to Emerald, it's the same as you notice that you still only need 3 people on your top line, but now you need 2 of them to go Ruby. So used to, you guys will remember going Emerald was a little bit more extensive. There was 2 qualified legs plus 2 rubies, and then those rubies each had an executive that now they don't have. So it's cut off a lot of the requirements that you used to. So it's just helping those 2 people go Ruby. I'm going to skip over at this point to the charts, just so I'm making sure I'm not confusing you guys, because I'm going to show you guys how we would fill them out, and then we'll go back to the comp plan. Okay, so for example, here is, make sure my pencil's working. Okay, so here's a Ruby chart. So let's say you're brand new, and you got your first 4 customers, so you went ahead and signed your husband. That's what we recommend on our team to do. Once you get your first 4 customers, you want to go ahead and get your spouse signed. They don't actually have to work the business or do anything in the business, but this just allows you to place under them and allows you to get 2 paychecks for the work of 1 person's work. So pretty incredible. I signed Zach 5 days into my business, and that is hands down what set us up for such a strong success in this company from day one, because we were getting 2 checks from the very beginning instead of 1. And that was while he was out working 2 jobs and I was home with the kids working the business. So again, I just want to reiterate, your spouse doesn't actually have to work the business for this to work for you. And we've got people that aren't married that have signed their boyfriends or signed their girlfriend or their fiance, or even people who, maybe don't have a significant other to sign, that have signed like their mom. Their mom's willing to help them out. So let's say you sign your husband. I'm just going to write hubby here. So you start moving volume under them, and you're going to get them to 400. Then 2 more people is going to charge you Ruby. So let's just say you also sign your sister and then your best friend. You are now charted Ruby. All you have to do is make sure each of them are at 400 in volume. That's anywhere from 3 to 8 customers, depending on what your customers are ordering. That would put all of them at 400. And then I'm just gonna go over this real quick because I like to make sure everyone's on the same page with charting. This way that I'm about to show you filling out your chart is the way our entire leadership team charts. So this is the way that Joel and Stephanie Dunn chart. This is the way that Tiffany Her charts, Alyssa Billieu. This is the way that Claire charts, and this is the way that was taught to me to chart. And this is the way that most of your Fire Tribe leaders chart. And so if you send me a chart and you don't fill it out this way, you may not get the right advice because I'm gonna look at it as if you filled it out the way I told you to fill it out. So keep this in mind. I have a lot of people that will start changing things, and it's so important for you to know that when you're sending it to your leader, they have to know what they're looking at. And if you're filling it out a different way, they're gonna be giving you advice assuming you filled it out the way they told you to. So this is why it's so important for us to all be on the same page. So what we do is we write above their name what they still need. So let's say your husband is at 400. You've put 5 customers under him. He's over 400. We go ahead and we highlight him. And then let's say your sister, she's at 370. We're going to write 30 above her name. We're not going to write 370. We're going to write 30. And I'm going to explain why in a second. And then let's say your best friend, let's say she only has 60 BBs. So we're going to write 340 above her name. What this does, writing what they need, whenever you sign a customer, now you know exactly where to place that customer very quickly because the math is already done. You're looking at, and you can immediately see where it makes sense to put it. So let's say you sign a hair, skin, and nail customer. It's not even going to be a hard thought for you. Hair, skin, nails is 30 BB. You're going to look at that and you're going to say, okay, done. Putting it under my sister, and now you're going to highlight your sister. And then now you just know you have your best friend to worry about. Okay, so once you fill your best friend up and she's at 400, you're gonna highlight her as well. Now you need a total of 2,000 in volume. So let's say you've got them all at 400, and that plus your auto shipment, your total GB is, let's just say it's 1280, okay? So now you know that you still need 720 left to be at 400, to be at 2,000, to be at Ruby. So then all you're gonna do at this point is you're gonna sign customers until you get that last 720. You're gonna work with your best friend, you're gonna help her get customers signed, you're gonna work with your sister, help her get some customers signed, you're gonna be placing more stuff under your husband, and you're going to be getting that volume, and you're gonna promote to Ruby. I hope that makes sense. Let me see if I can find the chat to see if I've lost anybody. Hold on. Yes, Michelle, you can run an auto shipment for a distributor that doesn't pay for an e-suite. So when you don't, that's a great question. I'm gonna go over this real quick. So when you send your husband, they do not have to run an e-suite. You can run everything on your husband's account on your e-suite. And so they don't need to run one. But when you disable your e-suite, it'll still let you log in and you'll have access to 2 things. Placing personal orders for yourself and setting up your auto shipment. That's it. So you won't be able to enroll customers, you won't be able to see anything under your customers, but you will be able to run your auto shipment, edit your auto shipment, and place one-time orders for yourself as well too. So it's yes to that question. And then Cassie, Cassie, I'm able to go over that in more detail with you. Actually forward you the message I sent the Diamond chat this morning about PVC. But it is basically just when you're running for Diamond, double Diamond, triple Diamond, and above, between now and the end of March, you need 150 in PVC. So that is personal customers that you consider you. So that's something you'll want to worry about after Emerald, but before Diamond. We can go over that later too. Let me make sure everybody.
Burritos.
If you guys can meet. Okay. All right, sorry guys, I had to pull something up. Okay, how do you disable your husband's e-suite? Alicia, your enroller will be able to walk you through that. It's super simple. You just log into your e-suite and go to settings. And then Michelle, yeah, so same thing I just answered, Cassie. It's something that we'll go over after Emerald. It's not something I really want to make too big of a deal about in this Zoom. I don't want to confuse anybody, but it is basically just personal customers kept underneath you, that total 150, and it's not anything you want to worry about until after you've locked Emerald in. Then you're going to want to make sure you keep 150 of personal customers just from 2019, and then that's all that you need. Okay, perfect, Mandy. Thank you so much. And then if you have a DT that wants to order but has not been active, yeah. So we're going to keep this all to just comp plan questions right now because I want to make sure this is super streamlined. So if you have other questions that are not related to the comp plan, we'll go over those later. You can ask those in the Run to Ruby, Exploding Emerald, and Dash to Diamond chats, or the newbies chat if you're in that. So I'm going to go ahead and exit the chat and then get back to this. And then as you guys have questions as we're going, just keep putting those in the chat and we'll go through them. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to the Emerald chart. So this is, as you can see, very similar to the Ruby chart. So if you were that same Ruby and now I'm transferring you over to Emerald, you would put your husband over here and then your best friend. And then let's say your best friend signs her husband. We're gonna write him here. And actually, I'm just gonna move the husband for a second. I'm gonna put him over here. If you are a mass distributor enroller and you're signing a lot of distributors, then you would want to build your husband. But if you're signing distributors at a little bit of a slower pace, then you definitely want to run with the people on your team that are running. So let's say your sister, she's running with you. She's already signed her best friend. She has signed her husband. Then now you're just going to need 3 more distributors, 1 more under your sister, 2 more under your best friend. Does that make sense? And then you're going to do the exact same thing. So you're going to go through and you're going to highlight the people already at 400. I highlight the Rubies when they're at 400. I highlight Emeralds when they're at 400. I highlight everyone because it's super important when you're looking at a chart for your eye to immediately be able to block off everything you don't have to worry about anymore, and focus on just those empty spots. So same thing as before, you're going to write above their names what they still need. So let's say best friend over here has nothing. This box has nothing. You're just going to write 400 above those. And then let's say both girls already have their husbands at 220. So we're just going to write 180 over each. So same thing. As you sign customers, you're going to be looking at where it makes sense to put them. So let's say you go and you sign a 300 BV order. You're not going to put them under one of these husbands because they only need 180. You're going to put them under one of these people that need 400. That way you can quickly, knock that off. And then now they only need 80. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if you have any questions about that, but I wanted to make sure real quick before we go further that everyone understands how to chart, because if you send me a chart, I'm gonna look at the numbers and I'm gonna assume that's what they still need. So if you send me a chart and you're writing what they have, I'm gonna give you advice assuming that that's what they need, because that is the way, like I said, Joel and Stephanie done all the way down. That's the way we chart. So make sure you're charting the same way the leadership team charts, because we don't want to give you bad advice because we think that's what they need, but really you're writing what they have. Does that make sense? Okay, so going back to the comp plan. Okay, so we're going to go down through to Diamond. This is where it gets really exciting. So all the way up to Ambassador Diamond, as you can see, still only needs 3 legs. This is incredible, you guys. Used to, Diamond and above needed 5 legs, and the legs got very, very extensive. For example, an Ambassador Diamond was a presidential, a triple, and a double, and a double. And now it's a presidential and 2 triples. So they've really simplified the charting a lot. So this is the most relevant, obviously, for most people on this Zoom. You just need your 1 qualified leg, and then you need your Ruby and your Emerald. A double diamond needs a diamond, an emerald, and 1 qualified leg. A triple needs a double and 2 diamonds. A presidential needs a triple and 2 double, a triple, a diamond, and a double. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. A triple, a double, and a diamond. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to explain is what the maintenance is and then what you need to hit the rank. So, as we went over before, for Ruby, you need that 2,000 GV and your 3 qualified legs. For Emerald, you need your 2 rubies, a qualified leg, and 5,000 in volume. A diamond needs 8,000 in volume, and they need a qualified leg and a ruby and an emerald. A double needs the 15,000, a triple needs 35,000, so on and so forth. Okay, this is where this is important to write down. To maintain your rank, used to for a ruby, you could either maintain rank by the same way you hit it, or you could maintain rank by 4,000 in volume. So what that meant was, and I'm gonna go back to the chart, is before, if you did not have all your boxes at 400 and you were a Ruby, you needed 4,000 in volume to maintain. That is no longer a requirement. You just need your 2,000 and your 3 qualified legs. For Emerald, however, it is 8,000 to maintain. So you need 5,000 to hit it, your 2 rubies and your qualified leg, or you need 8,000 to maintain. So what that means is you can maintain the same way you hit your rank, or you can maintain by volume alone. So I'm going to go to the chart and I'm going to give you a really real life example. So when you hit the rank of Emerald, that means that this person's going to have 2,000, this person's going to have 2,000. Sorry guys, that got messy. And then you obviously had your 400 over here. And then somehow you had a total of 5,000. So there was obviously extra that came from somewhere. So you had 5,000. For you to stay Emerald and healthily maintain that rank, if you're running for Diamond, you're going to be maintaining anyways, of course, because you're going to be going forward. But you would need these 2 rubies to maintain and have 2,000 each, and then you'd still need your 5,000, okay? The other way that you can maintain Emerald is by just having 8,000, and it doesn't matter if anybody's maintaining. If you have 8,000 in volume, it doesn't matter what else is going on in your chart, you just have to have 8,000. So, for example, if you have maybe this ruby over here, your sister is maintaining, but this ruby's not, and then you've got your husband on the way to ruby, but he's not ruby yet. I'm not even going to try to write almost ruby because it's messy, you can't see it. But anyways, as long as you had 8,000 in volume, it would not matter who specifically was maintaining. The rule though, when you're maintaining by volume, is that no more than 50% can count from one leg. So what that means is if you have 4,500 coming from your sister, you still need another 4,000 coming somewhere outside of her, because no more than 4,000 can count from one leg. Does everybody understand that? If you have specific questions, just put that in the chat. Yes, Michelle, you could definitely just plan on that. What I recommend doing is getting everyone to 400 and then going through after that and beefing up the volume in every single spot. And that's going to ensure everyone stays at 400 as well. But I would get every single leg to 400, then come back, if that makes sense. Okay, so going back to the comp plan, when you go to Diamond, it's 8,000 to hit it with your Ruby, your Emerald, and your qualified leg. It's 10,000 to maintain. Only 5,000 can count from one leg. For Double Diamond, it's 15,000 to hit it with your Emerald, your Diamond, your qualified leg, but it's 25,000 to maintain. Triple Diamond, it's 35,000 to hit it, 50,000 to maintain. And then for Presidential and Ambassador, ours is the same no matter what. So we need 100,000 to hit Presidential, and it's 100,000 to maintain, 250 to hit Ambassador, and it's 250 to maintain. So that part is actually really simple. But I want to make sure everyone understands how you maintain Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, Double, and Triple. So if you don't understand that, speak now or forever hold your peace. Ruby, it's super simple. There is only one way, and it's the 2,000 and the 3 qualified legs. But starting with Emerald is when you do have that option to maintain by volume. You have that 8,000, Diamond, you have the 10,000, and so on. So the main thing to remember is that if you're maintaining by volume, only 50% can count from one leg. That's the biggest rule. Otherwise, you can just maintain by structure. And what maintaining by structure means is that you're going to maintain the exact same way that you hit it. So exactly what it took to promote, you're going to have all those same things the next month. Okay, so let's go back through. We'll keep going. And then this just goes over the maintenance. And by the way, this is all in your eSuite. So if you are the kind of person that you learn best by after someone explains it to you, you need to pull it up and you need to read it again yourself. This is in your eSuite. It just says compensation plan. But I know a lot of you guys are visual learners and it helps you for someone to explain it. So this has all the maintenance requirements that I just listed out to you. Double Ambassador Diamond is a new rank that they announced at conference. This is super exciting. If you go Ambassador again on your 2.0 account, the company pays, and you have a minimum of 500,000 GV, the company pays you an extra 0.5% of your GV every single month, like over and over and over again. Every single month you meet that qualification. So that's just, again, our company just continues to outdo themselves. At the end is just a glossary of terms. And so a lot of you guys asked specific questions in the chat about PCV and stuff like that. what all these things mean is in this glossary. So if I was going too fast over that and you want to go read that later, all of that is in there. I'll touch on a couple of things real quick. Clawback, I know that's something you don't hear about a lot. If someone returns a product, that does get clawbacked out of our volume. So you'll see the return come up in your downline orders, and you'll see the BB being clawed back. And so that's what clawback means. Let's see. Everything else is pretty much what we've already covered. It gives you a compression example, kind of what I was explaining to you. So you'll hear people talk about things like they're on my 5th level, but they're my 3rd paid level. What that means is even though it says level 5 in eSuite, because of compression, you're actually getting paid on them as if they were your level 3. So that gives you some examples about that. Let me see. Yeah, and the rest of this is all pretty straightforward, so we're not going to go too much over that. The last thing that I just really wanted to touch on just briefly is just generationals, because I do know we have a lot of new people going diamond this month and running for diamond. I saw several of you in the chat say that, you know, what your goal is diamond by the end of March. That's so amazing. I know that we're going to have just an explosion of diamonds these next 2 months. So when you go diamond, you unlock the full comp plan. You start getting paid on your entire organization, and you start getting a lot of extra components added to your check. So instead of just commission, you're getting generational bonuses, which are what these are. You're getting what we call CAB bonuses, and I'll go over that in a second. So what generational bonuses are, when you're diamond, you're a new generation. And so you start getting an extra 2% of your entire group volume added to your check every single month. And so that ends up usually being a couple $100. It can be anywhere from like 200. I mean, honestly, depending on how high your volume is, it could go up, you know, pretty way up from there. But it's usually an extra $200 to $400 depending on what your volume is. And then once you go double diamond, you start getting an extra 9% off of any of your personally enrolled diamonds in your organization that are on your top line. You start getting an extra 9% of their group volume. This comes out to about an extra $1,000 a month on your check. And then you still get that extra 2% of your entire group volume outside of that diamond. And I know for some of you, this is just like, I've already lost you. It's not something you just stress out knowing right now, but it is something as you get closer to diamond, you definitely want to understand, especially at the very least, when you go diamond for the first time, you'll want to go over your check with your enroller so they can really explain to you what you're looking at. Just because it is super exciting knowing where all that money is coming from, and then really understanding how you can continue to maximize it every single month. And then this just kind of gives an example of what I was just showing, the generation payout. So if you're a double diamond, you're getting, I wish my pencil would write on the screen, but it won't write on it. But basically you're getting paid this emerald leg, you're getting 2% of, and this qualified leg, you're getting an extra 2%. And this is extra. This is in addition to your commission, your regular commission. And then you're getting an extra 9% of this diamond right here. And then this continues to go through triple as well. Same thing, you get 9% off the diamonds, 2% off these people on your top line. And then, okay, so when you see it says new distributor leadership bonuses, this is called 3 different things depending on who you talk to in the company. You'll hear people call this CABs. You'll hear people call them leadership bonuses. You'll also hear people call them diamond bonuses. It just kind of depends on who you talk to and how long they've been in the company, because at different stages in the company, it has been labeled differently, but it's all the same. Basically, these are an extension of fast start bonuses. Once you're diamond and above, anytime you sign anyone in your organization, they are coded to you. They are diamond coded to you. And so what that means is anyone that they sign is also diamond coded to you. And this goes on for infinity. And until they go diamond, this goes on until infinity, excuse me. But everyone that they sign is diamond coded to you, which means when they get them fast start qualified, they will get the fast start bonus, which is obviously $100. But then you get the leadership bonus, and that is $80. And that's unlimited. So if you sign 5 distributors, that's 80, 80, 80, 80 plus the fast starts. And then if they go sign people, they're going to get the fast starts. You're going to get 80 on everyone they sign. So that's just an incredible extra thing you get for going diamond and above. And then this gets bigger and bigger as you continue to promote. So when you go double diamond, it turns into $120. When you go triple diamond, it turns into $135. When you go presidential, it turns into $145. When you go ambassador, it's $150. And you can see all that breakdown right here on this screen. And I won't keep this up too long because, again, this is in your e-suite. But that is what cabs are, or leadership bonuses, I should say. And then at the very end of the comp plan, it just shows our income disclosure. I don't know if this is the new one. Yeah, this is the newest one. Okay. So that's kind of a new, just a nice thing to keep saved in your phone. If you're ever talking to somebody about the business, you can keep that and show that to them. So the last thing that I wanted to do is I just wanted to pull up a new diamond chart. So this is what the new diamond chart looks like if you haven't already looked at it. As you can see, it's so simple. They took away a lot of spots. A diamond used to have 24 spots on it, and now it's, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it took away 9 spots from the diamond chart. So if diamond used to intimidate you, it definitely should not intimidate you anymore. It's basically the old emerald chart. An emerald chart used to have 14, and now a diamond chart has 15. So pretty incredible. So if you are on here and you are kind of just confused on how your charting should look, I wanted to take a second and go over this with you. And I'm going to start with going back to Ruby. So if you were already charted Ruby, maybe you're trying to, re-rank Ruby, maybe your chart kind of had fallen apart before, you first and foremost want all of your top line people written down. Person 1, person 2, person 3. So even if they are not working, you want their names written in the box. From this point forward, everyone you sign, you want to be focusing on stability on your chart. So if person 1, 2, and 3, if all of them are not working, you want to start stacking. The next 3 people you sign, you're going to stack under each person. And you're going to go forward with just 3 people on your chart because you don't need, as we established, all the way up to Ambassador Diamond, you don't need anyone. You just need 3 people. So if these people aren't working, the best thing you can do for the health of your organization is stack under them because, again, we do have compression, so you still are going to get paid as if they were on your top line. But you would stack, and that's going to make it easier for you to get everyone to 400, especially like, let's say this person, let's say person 1 already has 100 in volume, then that means when you put this new person underneath them, now you only need 300 under this person. And this puts person 1 back at 400. Does that make sense? So that's why we stack. We stack because it's a lot easier to hit a rank when we're stacking than when we're constantly starting new legs. I never, ever, ever start new legs. I always stack. If you do have someone working on your top line, you definitely want to be locking arms with them and running with them. And then the same thing going over to emerald. So I'm going to erase this chicken scratch emerald chart. I'm sorry, guys. But same thing. You're going to transfer those people over. Your goal should be the Ruby legs have to be someone working. I sat down and helped a lot of you guys at conference with your new chart, so this is repetitive for a lot of you guys, but do not, I'm just going to say this like 3 times, do not put anybody in the Ruby legs who are not working. They cannot go in those spots if they're not working. They can also not go in those spots if they're not commission qualified. If every single month you're having to contact them on the last day of the month to tell them to be commission qualified, you cannot put them in a Ruby spot on your chart. It is 100% not good business sense. It does not matter if you love them and they're your best friend in the whole wide world. If they are not going to treat this like a business, you cannot put them in your Ruby chart. So I just want to say that again, because I know this is something that a lot of you guys are, struggling with, trying to like figure out who to run with. If they are not treating this like a business, do not write their name in that Ruby box. You can write their name over here. I'm just going to put bestie again. But if they are not treating this like a business and doing the things they're doing, do not write them in a Ruby chart. So the things I look for when I'm putting someone in a Ruby chart, they need to be commission qualified. They need to be running their ADPB auto shipment, and they need to be running with me. So I'll never build someone to Ruby that is not running with me. So if you're needing to know, you're looking between 3 people and you're like, okay, who do I start working with to go Ruby first? First and foremost, they have to be running with you. They've got to be enrolling. They've got to be working. They've got to be consistent. So whoever you first, let's say you only have 1 person working. I'll just put 1. Go ahead and start working with them to go Ruby and start getting people placed under them. And then you can wait for your next person that wants to run with you, and you can put them over here and start working with them. So don't get overwhelmed. If you are looking at a dead chart and you're looking at, just a whole lot of people that haven't done anything, don't get overwhelmed. Start with one. You can get a lot more done with one person who wants to run with you than you can 5 people who don't want to run with you. So the best advice I can give, I know this is veering a little bit off the comp plan, but I feel like it's still relevant. The best advice I can give is don't beg anybody to work. Don't sit there and convince, try to just spin your wheels and convince somebody to do something they're not wanting to do. You focus on setting the example, leading the way, and running, and these people that you need will come to you. They will be attracted to you, I promise. So the best thing you can do is not stress about all these people who maybe aren't doing anything. Don't stress. Just you work and do what you need to do, and the right people will come. I promise you, and I'm going to stop screen sharing now. I've been in this business a long time, you guys, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. But what I'll tell you, the one person who's never let me down is myself. And the one person who's never going to let you down is you. So if you're looking at a dead chart, erase it. Don't stress. Go ahead and, write the people down that I told you to that are on your top line. Find that one person you can run with, that one person you can work with. Fill the volume in the other places, and then go from there. I promise you, you'll be amazed at how fast it comes together when you become the person that you need to be and you become the person that you're looking for. So again, I know that's kind of off track of comp plan stuff, but I still just felt like I needed to say that. Sorry, I'm catching up on the chat, you guys. Okay, so if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, because we're just gonna probably wrap this up here in like 1 minute because we're a little bit over time. I'm assuming, because there's no questions, everybody understands this, but guys, I just hope you know this is such a huge deal. This is so exciting. We have people that are gonna be promoting left and right this month because of this new charting system. You're gonna see people wake up on the 25th emerald, wake up on the 25th diamond, wake up on the 25th double and triple diamond. This is absolutely such an incredible thing. And if you don't fully understand it, pull out your comp plan, read through it, go get with your enroller or your diamond and above upline after this Zoom, ask them any questions that you still have. I wish you would have asked on here because I'd be happy to answer, but I know some of you guys are shy and you like to ask in private. That's fine too. But just my best thing I can say to you is if you don't understand something, please ask, because this is huge. And this right here is going to take you from wherever you are right now to 100 steps ahead by the end of this year if you let it and you run with us and you work this new system. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and I will get this recording uploaded ASAP. I'll be posting in the comments of the Thread and Fire Tribe, so just look for it in there. But I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have an incredible night, and we'll talk to you guys soon.